by person just through listening to their own voice. Sound is in fact made up of these pure, simple elements.
We'll hear more about harmonic chant in future programs. Our thanks to David Hikes. The Sounds of Science are presented by the DuPont Company. I'm Jim Metzner.
David Hikes is the gentleman that will be leading the harmonic choir at Ravinia Wednesday night, the 9th. We're giving tickets away. Listen, I have 5 pair. We've started to give those away. Keep trying until we give all 5 pair away. We'll be taking those calls. And right now, here's Michael Brecker with album number 1. This is from his self-titled release on MCA Impulse, Sea Glass. This morning on Dawn Overdue Page on the new 90.9 FM at 7:53. 7 minutes before the hour. Michael Brecker with album number 1 in the top jazz group. His self-titled release on MCA Impulse. And that thing called Sea Glass this morning. Gave away 5 pair of tickets to see the Harmonic Choir in performance at the Murray Theater up at Ravinia this coming Wednesday night. Congratulations. This is a pair of tickets to go see the Harmonic Choir. It's harmonic meetings. Very interesting, as you heard in that piece with David Hikes, by the way, and Jim Metzner. It's wild kind of stuff. But congratulations this morning to Marianne Myrick from Glen, Ellyn. She'll be taking a guest up to see them. Rich Belcastro, hey, Rich, from Schaumburg. Eugene Knepp from Palatine. And Fred Brandenburg from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, called in this morning. And the number 5 winner is Steve Connolly, also from Palatine. So those folks are going up to see harmonic meetings, courtesy of your friends here at WDCB, where it's the place to be, the new 90.9 FM. WDCB Glen Ellyn, a service of College of DuPage. You know, it's 8 o'clock already. My, doesn't time pass quickly. And it's time once again to jump over to the WDCB newsroom and check in with Jim Howard, newsman, who, with a big N emblazoned on his chest, checks out every news story that comes our way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one busy dude over here. We're going to, I threatened to put a tether on him. I mean, I'm sitting around here yesterday trying to do work, and I've got state senators walking through the door looking for him, and where's Jim Howard? Well,
they got my number, don't they? No.
Yeah, he's out on a DCB news scooter.
Got a little waterproof Vespa.
You can. Well, we appreciate. You know, we appreciate it, don't you?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. Sure.
Well, you bring us up to date on what's happening out there, and then we'll start with the top contemporary jazz list. Maynard Ferguson, and you better buckle up your chin straps, folks, because we're going to turn up the heat now, because we're going to have fun in the next 2 hours.
How about the sunlight?
The sunlight?
And speaking of that, can I get the weather?
You want the weather?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring it over to you.
Got so intrigued with the music, forgot to run in there.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Okay, it's a minute after 8 o'clock. Morning, Scott.
Good morning.
It's Friday. There's hope in a few hours. In world and national news today, night has fallen in the Philippines, with battles raging between loyal Philippine forces and rebels. The mutineers seized key headquarters after mounting pre-dawn attacks on targets that included the presidential palace. President Corazon Aquino says she's safe and in control. Some 12 hours after the first attack, loyal Aquino troops began a counteroffensive on sites held by the rebels. They have orders to keep at it until the rebellion is crushed. Coup leaders say Aquino has created a personality cult instead of solving problems. Police clashed with protesters at government-banned rallies in Seoul, South Korea today. Marches were called in several cities to mourn the death of a shipyard worker killed in earlier violence. It is the first time since capital punishment was reinstated in 1976 that more than 2 criminals have been put to death. Florida today electrocuted convicted killer Buford White. Alabama and Utah put inmates to death earlier this morning, and another Florida inmate is due to be executed later today. In state and local news, President Reagan has approved a wider area to be included in federal flood assistance. Vice President George Bush made the announcement upon arrival at O'Hare International Airport yesterday. In DuPage County, the townships of Lisle, Milton, Naperville, and Winfield have been added to the list. This now makes the entire county a federal disaster area. In the original request, Reagan had declared 5 other DuPage Townships disaster areas. While gray skies and rain did not dampen the welcome DuPage Republicans gave Vice President George Bush, Bush interrupted his vacation yesterday to win the endorsement of Illinois Republican leader James Pate Phillip. Phillip told those gathered for the 33rd annual DuPage Republican Day golf outing that Bush was the first candidate he had endorsed for president in 18 years.
And I've had people ask me, well, why have you endorsed George Bush? Very simply stated, he's probably the best qualified candidate for president that either party has had in my lifetime. Been a United States congressman, director of the CIA, Republican national chairman, and he's been the vice president for 8 years.
Governor James Thompson stopped short of announcing an endorsement last night, but the Chicago Sun-Times is reporting this morning that Bush will name Thompson campaign manager in Illinois and the co-chairman of his national campaign after he officially throws his hat in the ring this fall. Bush says he will emphasize education on his agenda during the campaign.
The 1990s should be the decade of a literate, educated America, and I want to lead in that regard.
Following the event, Bush returned to his home in to his vacation spot in Maine, and Governor Thompson headed to California to meet with President Reagan about the upcoming Supreme Court nomination of Robert Bork. One of the last men to see Martin Luther King Jr. alive is now dead. Ben Branch, the musician and civil rights activist, died yesterday in Chicago's Providence Medical Center. Branch spoke to King moments before he was shot in Memphis in 1968. Budget problems could be in store for schools in Chicago and elsewhere in Illinois. That's because a $146 million state payment has been stalled by the long court battle over Illinois' telephone tax. The payment is languishing while state officials try to free about $128 million in disputed proceeds from the state tax on long-distance telephone calls. Governor Thompson told Chicago school officials he's not optimistic the payment can be made on time. The holdup is particularly crucial for the Chicago school system. It is counting on more than $48.5 million to balance the budget for the upcoming school year. A grocery chain accused of using a rodent-infested warehouse has agreed to clean up. The Aldi chain signed a consent agreement yesterday that requires it to destroy any food tainted by rats and mice at the Batavia warehouse. Government investigators last week seized 200,000 pounds of food. Summer job surges in recreational programs helped bring good news last month to the Illinois job front. State